Why most relationships fail quietly. No one talks about this. Most relationships don't end with cheating. They don't end with shouting or drama. They end quietly. When people stop feeling safe with each other. This is something no one really talks about. Two people can love each other deeply and still feel lonely in the same relationship. And when that happens, love slowly fades. Not because it's gone, but because it's neglected. One of the biggest reasons relationships fail quietly is emotional neglect. Not abuse, not hatred, just the absence of presence. When partners stop listening, stop checking in, stop noticing small emotional changes, the connection begins to weaken. Studies show that couples who regularly acknowledge each other's emotions last longer than those who focus only on solving problems. People don't just want solutions. They want to feel understood. Another silent killer of relationships is constant misunderstanding. When everything turns into an argument, when explaining feelings feels exhausting, when silence feels safer than speaking. Over time, people stop expressing themselves. They start protecting their peace instead of protecting their relationship. And once communication shuts down emotionally, distance grows. There is also the issue of emotional unpredictability. When affection is inconsistent, when kindness comes and goes, when love feels conditional, the human brain craves emotional stability. When it doesn't feel secure, it enters survival mode. And in survival mode, connection cannot grow. Another fact many people ignore is that love needs space to breathe. Healthy relationships allow individuality. They don't demand constant attention. They don't confuse control with care. Research in psychology shows that couples who respect personal space report higher relationship satisfaction. Love that suffocates eventually fashes peacefully. Then there's the problem of unspoken resentment. Small issues that are never addressed. Feelings that are minimized. Needs that are ignored. Resentment doesn't explode. It accumulates. Duh. And by the time people notice it, emotional damage has already been done. One of the strongest predictors of a lasting relationship is emotional safety. Feeling safe to speak. Safe to be vulnerable. Safe to make mistakes without fear of rejection. When emotional safety is missing, people withdraw. Not because they don't care, but because caring becomes painful. Another hard truth is this: love alone is not enough. Consistency is what sustains relationships. Small daily actions matter more than occasional big gestures. Trust is built in quiet moments, in reliability, in emotional availability. Relationships don't fail because people stop loving each other. They fail because people stop choosing each other emotionally. And the saddest part is that many relationships could survive if these quiet issues were noticed early.
Why some relationships feel safe and others feel draining. Some relationships don't hurt loudly. They don't explode. They slowly drain you. You feel tired after conversations. You overthink simple messages. You feel anxious instead of calm. And you can't explain why. The difference between a healthy relationship and an exhausting one is not love. It's emotional safety. When a relationship feels safe, your body relaxes. Your mind settles. You don't feel the need to perform or protect yourself emotionally. In emotionally safe relationships, communication feels simple. You don't rehearse every sentence. You don't fear being misunderstood. You can express discomfort without starting a war. But when emotional safety is missing, even small issues feel heavy. Every conversation feels risky. Silence feels easier than honesty. One major reason relationships feel draining is emotional inconsistency. Affection one day, distance the next. Support sometimes, criticism other times. This unpredictability keeps the nervous system on edge. Psychology shows that emotional inconsistency creates anxiety, not attraction. The brain craves stability more than excitement. Another factor is feeling unseen. When efforts go unnoticed, when emotions are brushed aside, when your presence is taken for granted. Over time, people stop trying, not because they don't care, but because trying stops feeling safe. Healthy relationships don't require constant proving. They offer reassurance naturally, not through words alone, but through consistent actions. There is also a difference in how conflict is handled. Even when emotions run high, dignity remains. The goal is repair, not dominance. Another quiet difference is emotional responsibility. In healthy relationships, each person manages their emotions. They don't expect their partner to fix everything. They communicate needs instead of projecting pain. In exhausting relationships, emotions are dumped without accountability. And over time, one person carries the emotional weight of two. Love should not feel like survival. It should not feel like walking on eggshells. It should not feel like constant self-abandonment. The healthiest relationships allow people to be themselves without fear. They feel calm, not chaotic. Secure, not confusing. And when a relationship feels safe, love doesn't feel heavy. It feels grounding. It feels steady. It feels sustainable.